Alright, let's see if we can summarize tic-tac-toe quickly. It falls under the category of pen and paper. Setup is quick. Using a pin, players make the pound symbol, large enough to fill in with either an X or an O. Players are assigned a symbol, and take turns sequentially adding their symbol to one of the 9 unoccupied spaces. The game requires 2 players. Start player selection varies. One common tradition is for the youngest player to go first. The game ends when someone meets the win condition, or when all 9 spaces are filled, resulting in a draw. The win condition is to control 3 adjoining spaces in a straight line with your symbol. This is a very simple rule set, but it hits on the major points that all rule sets need to touch on. Number of players, game setup, turn and round sequences, in-game, and victory conditions. Take a minute now and go pull out the rule sheet to a game in your collection. Look it over, skim to see how it answers these questions. It is likely to be broken down into sections with headers covering these exact issues, as they are important to highlight for anyone needing to check rules mid-game. Pause the video now to give yourself a chance to do this. Hopefully you had a chance to look over a set of rules and get a feel for how other games address these questions. Every game is unique, and you may have noticed that the player turns determine a good bit of the uniqueness. You may have noticed that some games have sections we aren't discussing. These sections are to deal with a specific mechanic of a game and are the other part of what makes a game unique. For instance, in a cooperative game, such as Pandemic, there are rules for intensifying the crisis that you are working to fix. These types of rules will be ones that you have to determine for yourself on their necessity. You may find, after playtesting, that you need to add rules to clarify when to do something, such as when to draw your cards, or add something to make the game a little more balanced, such as a hand limit to force players to choose what cards they can keep. For now, focus on the core issues to build a functional game. If you get stuck somewhere, you can add what is called a stub mechanic. A stub mechanic is a simple placeholder, something short that you don't have to be satisfied with. It just needs to let you get your design to the table so you can see what works and what doesn't, and you can come back to make it better later. For instance, say you wanted to modify the game of chess so that instead of players taking sequential turns, they do simultaneous play. They do this by writing down the move they want to make, then revealing the moves to each other. If the players move their pieces to the same spot on the board, how would you resolve the conflict? A simple stub mechanic for this situation would be a coin flip. This way, you can see how often the issue comes up and get some feedback on if this is a good direction to move the game, or if you should rethink the movement order. I know I've thrown a lot at you in this section, but this is a critical step of getting your idea materialized. Let's recap what we need to do, then I'll show you an example of completing a new rule set, and finally, I'll be asking you to put down your own ideas to paper.